Oh shit, there it is. Oh yes. What's up? Hold on 1 second. Wait a second. Spring? You know what I mean? Does this fit? Does this fit over? It's okay. I think maybe. I don't know. Welcome back. Thanks for coming. It's the Hotline Show, the 59th one. Today is April 20th, 2025. It's my mom's birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Mom. Hope it was a good day. Sorry I forgot to call. I'll call you next time. What's going on this week? Oh man, I wrote down so many notes. There's so many things that I sort of want to go over. We'll just touch on it a little bit and then we'll get to the calls, which by the way, if you don't know, it's the Hotline Show. So people call the number. It's in the description below. They leave a message. They ask a question. Usually it's about photography because this is a photography related show, sort of. I mean, I am one, I guess. But it can be about anything. So if you have like a hot take on, I don't know, mushroom foraging or psychedelics, hit that number or just email me a voice memo. You record it on your phone and then you send me the file. It's easy and it sounds good. There's so many things, almost stuff that could be topics in and of themselves. I was over at my neighbor's house. They're artists. They're old. They're in their 80s. And they are obsessed with AI. And they now use it as their like art assistants. And it's kind of amazing on so many levels that I'm going to have to do something about it. I'm going to interview Daria about it. People need to hear more about this because the youngs, they like AI. They just think it's like a calculator that they're going to use for anything. It's a tool. Why wouldn't you use it? Then you have the whole middle generation that's fighting over this. Some people fucking hate it. Some people love it. Some people, it's the end of the fucking world if you're in the middle. But then you get to the upper 70s, 80s. They love it. I mean, it's wild. And I think in many ways, because it's like a friend that listens mostly. But it's complicated and we'll get there. Also, I've been thinking a lot about how I'm a real person. This is real. I exist in reality, I think. And a lot of the shit that we see on the internet is fake. And it's we know this, right? Yeah, it's all fake bots. No. It's more than you think is fucking bullshit on the internet now. And it's a real problem, especially if you wade into political discourse. And it really, of course, we all know this. We've known this. But I don't think you really know how insidious it all is. And how even people you agree with aren't fucking real. And what is real now? The elimination of the verification badge, where now anyone can buy one. Worst internet product decision ever made. It will go down in history as the beginning of the end of everything we liked about the internet, and it ruins society. Everyone who is responsible for that decision. I think it started on Twitter, and then of course like Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg picked up on this. They they fucked up and they fucked the world. And if you were in those meetings and you were like, this is a good idea, you suck and you're bad at your job and you fucked up and you ruined the world. What else is there? We've got some exciting things happening. Can't really get too deep into it just yet. Hopefully, man, over the past couple months, I've had so many like job opportunities, proposals come at me, and they've all fallen through. And it's crazy. I mean, this is not unusual, but like, man, it's just like miss after miss after miss after projects that are like seemingly life changing. So it's pretty frustrating. We do, however, have things that I think maybe might be happening soon. We'll see. There'll be updates on that. Maybe, or I just won't talk about it and I'll just like create this entirely different realm that you witness. Oh, this camera company, OM System, formerly known as Olympus, they sent me this camera, not to have, just to test. So I'm not getting paid. Those shots in the beginning of the birds, that was with this. It's basically like a birding camera. I'm not going to get too into it because I know like a lot of people aren't that into like gear stuff. I'm sort of debating this. Do I become like a gear review channel? Like, is the goal now of a photographer to just become good enough to get to a place where a camera company offers you cameras and also maybe money to sell cameras to the next generation of photographers who will eventually get good enough at photography to then become camera salesmen themselves? And it's just this like long string of events of just passing down camera sales to people, because that's the only place where there's money left in photography, is just selling the dream. I don't know, but this is good. I mean, what's a camera? Cameras are like cars, you know, like they're all the same now. They just look a little different. They have slightly different features, but fundamentally they'll get you where you're going. And, you know, some maybe are cooler than others. So it's really just a branding thing. Like, is this a cool brand? I don't know. It could be. It's a little more affordable than like a Sony. Honestly, I'd rather something that says OM System than Sony. Sony sucks. You know, on paper, maybe that camera's better, but I don't know. Well, it depends, right? What are you shooting? I have a Phase 1. I shoot it for almost everything. That's like taking a Lamborghini to the supermarket. It's ridiculous, but sometimes you do it just because. And, you know, cameras, they're all the same. You might just use your phone. All right, well, enough of that. There's still more to go over. I mean, including someone's building a $1 million house on my road down the ways a bit. But every day now there's these giant bulldozer or like dump trucks coming up and down the road. And I'm becoming a NIMBY. Not my backyard. You can't do that. It used to be quiet. Now it's just barreling fucking trucks every fucking minute. Must have missed the meeting. I would have said no. All right, let's do it. We got a couple of good calls today. Let's get into it. Susannah, let's go.
Hi, Noah. It's Susannah. I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about the one-off dummy book you made of internet sex, and if you were going to make a one-off dummy book today, how you might go about doing it. I might be interested in doing something like that. Thanks. Bye.
Susannah, thank you for that call. Yeah, that's interesting. The internet sex dummy book that I made, I showed it off last week. It's this. Let's get the exposure better if we back up from the light. So I looked into this and I made this on Blurb Books, blurb.com. And I made that in January 2013. It's 8x10. It's 28 pages. And it cost me $65.22 to make that. Now, my project file is still on the website in my account. It actually is $60 now if I were to reprint that. Somehow it's gotten cheaper to make these. I mean, in many ways, this makes sense. But, obviously, it's one of those things where you can lay out a book and then you print it, and the more copies you make, the cheaper it gets. There's also a company called Green Printer, which looks really interesting. It's an American printing company, and I think Blurb is too. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. But if that's important, there's so many options. There's so many things you can do. And I really think people should do it. Just lay it out. I think, and what ends up holding me back every time I go in to start wanting to design a book or just make something, print something, is too many choices. It's like paralyzed by choice. What kind of paper, size, binding, and then you start going through the configurator, and then after an hour you're just like, I don't know, and then you see the price and you're like, oh man, well, it's going to cost me $60 to print one. Is it worth it? Maybe, but what if I don't like it? But what if I don't know. So you end up getting stuck in that thing, and sometimes you just got to go for it. Obviously, just no, I mean, listen, as someone who just like makes photos and I print a lot, it's just like wasting money is like a key to being an artist. And I mean, all right, it's not wasting money. I'm sort of not being serious there. I mean, I just feel like you just spend money because like you just do it. It's just what you do. So you're just spending money. Maybe one day it'll pay off. Maybe if there's some interest, I could make some I mean, I would have to sell this for $100. That's the thing too, right? Like I'm going to spend $60 to make this. So what do I sell it to someone? It's got to be, I kind of hate the idea that everyone along the chain makes more money on a project that I do. So like if I sold this for $100, okay, I make $40. The printer made more money than I did on my own art. That's fucked up. I just don't like that. So, you got to do big volume. So then, okay, you order 20 copies and you get the cost down to $25. Still expensive. Still have to sell it for at least $50. And are you going to sell that many copies? It's hard for the vast majority of people to do that. So the economics are bad. We'll get into the economics on book printing though, because I am getting quotes on my Normal House book and I'm printing it in China. And I think I can get 1,500 copies for like $4 a book. So you can't beat that. And that's including shipping to my house landed. We'll get into that on another episode because it is pretty interesting, the economics of it. I mean, every major book publisher, for the most part, major, and like Cabin Porn, the book that I worked on, that's like sold a couple 100,000 copies, like that is printed in China. Just the way it is. Are we doing a business or are we doing a hobby? If it's a business, you got to look at margins, and it's all a factor. And it's enough to drive most of us crazy because at the end of the day, you almost are certain you're going to lose money on it, and that sucks. Breaking even is the best thing you can ever do, which I mostly do, but it's still exhausting. Susannah, thanks for that call. Next caller.
Hey Noah, this is Paul giving you a call from France. I've followed your work for a while now, and I know in the past you used to do a lot of portraiture, but I don't see it so much from you these days. And I'm wondering what motivated the shift. Is it just something you're not interested in anymore, or did it have something to do with moving upstate, or maybe the pandemic? I really like your portraits, and I'd love to see more of it. So I'm just curious.
Paul, thank you for that question. Good question. I think about this a lot. I did used to shoot a lot of portraits, and I stopped mostly. I mean, I still do it. I don't necessarily post them, but that said, I was looking through, I mean, over the past couple of years, maybe I did like 4 real commissioned portraits last year or something. I'm actually in talks to do more this year, But there's a few reasons. Obviously, it is like moving away from like the thing and just like losing interest in the whole process in making those pictures. And it's complicated on a number of levels because what's the point? Ultimately, what's the point? Like, what's it for? And I guess that's the thing. What's the point means what's it for? And I used to get a lot of magazine editorial work, so it would be for that, and that's essentially like promotion for something, one way or another. I just kind of got tired of that whole like scene of like just doing that and the process around it, and sometimes like getting assigned to do a portrait, it's your whole day and you show up and the person gives you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's just is like, it became like kind of feeling like very disrespectful to me, like to do portrait work, assigned. And then there were times when I would shoot some people and I'd find out they didn't like the picture, and it actually made me feel bad. Like when I would make something of someone and they didn't feel like it was good. And like, I don't want to be responsible for representing someone in a light that they don't necessarily like. Like it just doesn't sit with me that well, especially when it's not like a collaboration, like, so oftentimes you go shoot something and then an editor picks the photos and that's what goes out. And there were just a couple times where like I would then hear that like the people hated it. And I just felt so bad. It made me feel bad. And I don't want to have that feeling. And fortunately, just because of how my career and the world and everything shaped up, is like I sort of transitioned into like what my first initial passion was, which was more landscape oriented art, which I knew when I was kind of in school wasn't really ever going to be a career. It's hard to do landscape photography as a living. So I forced myself to get into portraiture by doing headshots, and then, just like selling people are what sells, which is ironic, in a certain way, because like commercially it's people, but like people very rarely sell when it comes to art. So there's a whole lot here. I think I was really good at portraits. Like when I would nail a portrait, and people don't know, check out my website. I still have the portrait section up. Some of that shit's really good. And I don't know, just people stopped asking me to do it. And for me to motivate myself to go make it happen, which then, it's sort of like becomes snowballs, right? Like if you're doing it, you're posting it, you get more doing it. And I moved away from it, and that's why it doesn't happen anymore. So I had to like push myself into doing it in order to make sure to do more of it. And I'm just not going to, because I have other things that I enjoy more now. So that's it, Paul. I mean, thank you so much. If you're ever in the States, let me know. I'll take your picture. Next caller.
Hi, this is Cristiano from Italy. Yeah, I'm calling all the way from Italy, so this phone call is probably extremely expensive. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'm not really a photographer, so this question is not related to photography, but, I want to know if there is a weird, like, place that you're obsessed with that, people would be like, what the hell? Why are you so obsessed with this place? Like, let me explain. For example, ever since I was 3 years old, I've been obsessed with the little island country of Nauru in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I'm still obsessed with it, and I want to go there. I don't know why, but I'm simply drawn to it. And I want to, and the same goes for Somalia, which is, this war-torn country in the Horn of Africa that no one ever wants to visit. I'm just like, I want to go there. I don't know why, but I'm just drawn to it. I'm asking, like, are there any less popular places or countries or whatever that you're just obsessed with, and you want to, if you had the resources to visit, you would definitely go to? Not even sure what you're looking for, just a place that bemuses you and that bedevils you and that just kind of sparks your creativity or whatever. Maybe This question is a bit nonsensical, but I hope it makes it into the show because I think I just spent $5 trying to call you from Italy. Anyway, bye.
Cristiano from Italy, thank you for calling. I appreciate this question. Long distance charge, that's a thing? Next time, just record a voice memo on your phone and email it to me. I don't want you to spend money on calling me. You could have spent that $5 joining my Patreon. For just $4 a month, you can get stickers like this that I can't pick up right now. Different tiers. You support the show. You don't support, I don't know, what's your telecom? That's crazy, right? Just join that Patreon, patreon.com/The Hotline Show. Now, this is really interesting question, place that like in your head that you just can't stop thinking about. I couldn't make out the island in the Pacific Ocean that you said, but Somalia, that's wild. I mean, try to make it happen. If you think about it, you got to go, right? It's in your head. You got to go figure it out. Save the money, put it together, make the trip. I don't know anything about either of those places. Somalia, I mean, it sounds scary just based on like growing up and knowing that there's always war, but maybe not. It's probably fine. But you got to go and find out, right? I don't think like that. There's not like, oh, I got to go to, to wherever, like a beautiful place, or like I've been to a lot of places and gotten to experience a lot of different things. What sticks in my head is like real mundane spots. Like sometimes I just think about like hotel rooms that I've been to, or like the hallways in hotels, and just like walking through like really bleak and dark areas. Like I think about the most random places. That's the stuff that's in my head. Like in Lost, where there's that whole scene where he's like, we gotta go back.
We were not supposed to leave.
Yes, we were. Come on, Jack.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!
Cristiano, thank you for that call. We're going to think about that a lot. Forever. Last call.
Noah, I think that you should give us a little preview of what this ambient channel that you're always talking about. Is it just kind of like your sort of whispered mutterings as you're walking around? Is that what it'll be? Or is it something completely different? Would love to know what you're thinking on that.
Carrie, I think that's you. Yeah, the ambient channel. I keep talking about it. I'm working on it. And you know something? Maybe I'll play out the end of this video with something like a trailer of sorts. I'll play like 10, 15 minutes at the end of this of some of my ambient stuff. But yeah, it's like I've 3 or 4 different categories I'm working on. Some drone shots, just like beautiful drone shots. I've on the ground, just almost like time lapse, but not time lapse. It's just real time, like of the lumberland tree or down by the wall. And yeah, there'll be stuff where I'm like picking up sticks and maybe like mumbling to myself or just thinking about random things. I did a whole video where I'm fertilizing my younger fruit trees. and it's a thing and a vibe. And the whole purpose is really just like screensavers of a sort where people who use YouTube in this way, it's a thing. It's like some people watch content on YouTube. They want to get, like podcasts or videos. They want to learn shit. Some people just turn on YouTube and just want like relaxing sounds to study to go to sleep to. So that's kind of what I'm trying to make. And I'm building up a little bit of an archive, like I don't know, like a cache of them. I'm just calling it Kalina. And on the Kalina channel, you just put it on and just let it sit. Just do whatever. And there'll be some audio, some working on that. So check it out. I'm going to play it out here. Thank you to everyone. If you're still watching, I appreciate it. Do the stuff, like, subscribe. Join the Patreon. There's some stuff coming up with that. I'll have more next week about the Patreon. I guess that's it. Thank you so much. We'll see you next week. Maybe. don't see anything. I stopped it. Didn't even. Wow, that's so interesting. All right, I don't see anything.